وَكُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every soul will taste death. إِنَّ الْمَوْتَ الَّذِي تَفِرُّونَ مِنْهُ فَإِنَّهُ مُلَاقِيكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the death that you are trying to run away from, it will itself meet you. Wherever you are, death will meet you. يا غافل القلب عن ذكر المنيات عما قليل ستثوى بين أموات. يا غافل القلب عن ذكر المنيات. Oh, that heart which is neglectful of remembering death. Oh, that heart which does not remember death. We remember everything, but we cannot remember death. Yes, we do believe and we do say that each person will die, and each person can die suddenly. We all believe that, we all say this. But as far as every individual is concerned, he feels that this will not happen to me. When I look at other people, then I will believe this. I will believe this from the depth of my heart, that I may not meet him again. I may not see him again. He may pass away without any reason. Suddenly he may just go away. But when I think about myself, yes, I could die any time, but I will not die. I'll still live another 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I look healthy, my circumstances are okay. For ourselves, we don't believe. Ya ghafil al-qalbi an dhikri al-maniyati. We don't talk about death. We don't want to talk about death. We don't remember death when we are reminded. We don't want to remember death. When people talk about death, when ulama talk about death, mashayikh talk about death, the du'at, those concerned about our deeni life, our life of the hereafter, talk to us about death, we dislike those majalis. Whereas the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, "Akthiru dhikra hadhimil ladhat." Akthiru dhikra hadhimil ladhat. Frequently remember the crusher of desires. And what is the crusher of desires? Al-maut. Maut. Those people who remember death frequently, then death crushes the desires. And when death crushes the desires, then a person will confine himself to lawful desires only, and he will stay away from unlawful desires. Remembrance of death curbs a person from getting tangled up in unlawful desires. And it is these unlawful desires which takes a person far and far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and success in the hereafter. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ. One who is able to fear his Rabb, and one who is able to control his base desires, فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَىٰ. For him is Jannah. Jannat is his abode. For whom is Jannah? For the one who is able to curb his base desires, who is able to control his unlawful desires. And who will be able to control his unlawful desires? Who remember the day of Qiyamah, who remembers Pul Sirat, who remembers grave. And what will take a person to the grave? What will take a person to the day of Qiyamah? What will take a person towards Pul Sirat? Death. So one who remembers death and what will happen after death, he will be able to control his desires. And when a person is able to control his desires, he will be able to do what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a person remembers death, that I could die any moment, he will be able to curb his desire. What if I die whilst watching this film? What if I die whilst chatting with this girl? What if I die whilst consuming this drug, this alcohol? What if I die whilst backbiting? What if I die whilst doing this, whilst doing that? Remembrance of death becomes a hurdle between a person and disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.